and it is time to start learning some stuff about the ocean. So what I want to say to everyone first of all is hello. Welcome to our people that have been joining every single week. Welcome to our newbies. I'm so glad you've come along to learn about the oceans with us. This is the little boring bit of just to teach you how to interact and things like that. My name is Amber and I'm a PhD student, and I also work on the side as an environmental consultant as well. And I started these at the start of lockdown to be able to bring some ocean science into the classroom, because unless we have fabulous people like Mr. FT, who we've got on with us today, ocean science doesn't get into the classroom very much. So I saw it as my covert way to get ocean science into the classroom while we're all in lockdown. So we've had 8 sessions so far. All of them are being archived, so if any of you want to go back and watch them, it's basically 15 minutes where an ocean scientist like myself or one of my colleagues has come along and done a presentation, and they chat about the oceans and teach you for 15 minutes, showing cool videos and pictures and things like that. And then we spend the rest of the time, sometimes it's a full 45 minutes, answering live the questions that you children have to ask to ocean scientists, whether it's about the things they've taught you about the ocean, or whether it's about, you know, you might be interested in a career or a job in science and things like that. So that's what these sessions are based around. I'm not a teacher. Karl is, so he's going to do a fantastic session, but it's just to get a conversation going between children and ocean scientists and opening up areas of the oceans we don't get to see very much. What I'm going to do now is pass you over to Mr. Karl Fice-Thompson. Karl is basically one of the people that inspired me to become a marine biologist. He's absolutely fabulous. He is going to take you on a journey of Cornish coasts. His children are there to help him. I'm very, very jealous, to be quite frank, because I'm stuck in Southampton in the middle of a city. So I've had a little cry over that. But I won't tell you too much about him because he's going to do that himself. So over to you, Karl. I'll just see if I can spotlight your video now.
Can you hear me?
Can we get a thumbs up from everyone if we can hear Karl?
Can you all hear me? It's a bit windy, but if you can hear me.
We can hear you perfectly. I'm going to mute myself now and it's all over to you. Thanks, Karl.
Well, listen, it's absolutely fantastic to meet you all. We're here in this glorious, glorious place called the River Karl, and this is the estuary area. Before we do any of that, very importantly, I have some people I'm going to meet. This is my young wrangler and spotter. This is Maddie. Directing and the photographer, sorry, and the filmmaker is Amelie. She's just given us away. And this is Oliver, who's going to be spotter as well. So look, I want to get straight down to it. We're in a very, very specialised environment here. Amelie, just scan around for everyone. Okay, so normally when the tide is in, tide's out now. When the tide is in, all of this is underwater. All of it's underwater. So all these vegetation, these plants are very specialised because they can withstand really salty water and fresh water. Even the animals in here as well. But here's the really important thing. This is like a nursery. All the baby kind of animals that end up in the ocean kind of start life here. And there's huge food chains here as well. So let's go straight in and start finding some creatures. Does that sound okay? Everyone give me a thumbs up for this when I go and find some mighty creatures. Come on, follow me, come on. Now, I brought myself a bucket. We've got some nets. We'll be very careful how we interact with all the creatures. I'm going to bring the bucket. We're going to start straight away. So low tide, the tide's gone out. There's loads of kind of bird life. So we're going to be very careful. We see herons down here, all sorts of ducks and cheese. So we're going to come off this big main area here into this tiny tributaries. You're going to follow me up. So what we're going to find, a bit squelchy, just zoom in on the mud, a bit squelchy. So then we go, already, look at all these fish. The family zooms in, there's tiny fish darting around. These are probably flounder or plaice, very juvenile babies. We've got something called mysis. That doesn't mean mice, not a mouse. Mysis, M-Y-S-I-S. Tiny juvenile shrimp. There's billions of them in here. And a lot of the stuff is feeding off this. So, come on, let's go and find it. So we're going to walk up through this little tributary, coming off. And already, if you just pan down to the water, I mean, as I'm walking, you might see all these little shrimps. Whoa, look at all these. Woo-hoo! Now behind us, Ollie's scooping his net around, and so is Maddie. They will tell us if they found something. keep scooping those nets. Have you found something yet? Oh, hang on. Yeah, pop it in the bucket, Ollie. Hang on, pop it in there. Whoa, right, zoom in, Emily. Right, so what is it, Ols? Oh, here we go. Hold that bucket for me, Ols, for you. So in here, oh, big eel. So we've got probably, oh, big freshwater eel. Let me see if I can grab it. Whoa, here he goes. Whoa, whoa. We might have to pop him. We've got to be very careful. Oh, there he goes. Bear with me, everyone. Very, literally, the saying, slippery as an eel. Oh, wow, here he comes. Woohoo! Oh, you've got a shore crab in there. Oh, it's gone again. This is so frustrating. Sorry, everyone. So, it's what we've got, probably, not a fully grown, but a juvenile freshwater eel. There he is. Oh, woohoo! You see him? Here he comes. Wow, he's got a shore crab. We've got a shore crab on him as well. Hitching a ride. Beautiful creature. Look at that fin that runs down his back. Oh, he's got. He's got. Fantastic. Oh, in the net, Ollie has also picked up some other creatures. Look at this. Now, look. It's absolutely tin. That's one scoop of the net. You've picked up all these shrimp. Look at that. It's transparent body. You can see all its insides. You can see his brain. There's his intestine, which goes down to, you know what, his bottom. Let's put all these back in. Off they go. Let's see what else was in his net. This is all from one scoop of Ollie's net. Oh, you had 2 eels, Ollie. Aha! Now we've got a shore crab. Now these, Carcinius midas, or the common shore crab, Carcinius midas. Green crab. Lots of these live in the burrows in the mud. So we're going to look in their burrows very shortly. We'll have a look in. But look, they get a lot bigger than this. Here's a little juvenile, little tiny one. They get a lot bigger, about the size of my hand. Let's see if it's a male or a female. Oh, it's a little male. This triangular shaped kind of tail here, which tucks up underneath, just here. If that was wider, a beehive shape, it would be a female, because that's where she keeps her eggs. This is a little male. As you'll probably know, this is not a shell. It's its exoskeleton. You've got your skeletons on the inside. This is its exoskeleton. So we might find, as we're looking around, lots of exoskeletons. So let's release that one back into the mud. How are we all doing? Are we all still there? Can you still hear me?
We can hear you fine, Karl. It's amazing. Thank you.
Are we still going? We keep going?
Oh, yeah, please do. We're having a great time.
Oh, look. No, look. This, apart from shrimp, look at this. These are bullhead. There are types of kind of like goby that come around these estuary areas. This is a little bullhead. Yeah, there you go. Let's pop him back in. Was this just one scoop, Rolls? Yeah, big scoop. Oh, there's definitely another eel. More shrimp, another bullhead here, look. Another bullhead. Now what we're going to do, we're going to empty this bucket out into this net and see what else we got. Very carefully. So hold your net up, Rolls. Oh, there's the eel. If I give that to my helper, Maddie moves. Now let's have a look what was in this net. Oh my word, that was one scoop. Look at the marine life. That's in this tiny area. Oh, and here's a mullet. Little baby juvenile mullet. Can't keep it in the water for too long. Look at all these shrimp, and they'll be giving off, well, not giving off, but they'll be laying their eggs and they'll hatch into the mysis. And of course, look there's that juvenile freshwater eel. Right, let's put all these back in. Release these. That's brilliant. Let's keep going up. Now, I think what I'd like to do, with all these mighty bits of marine life, let's go to the burrows. I want to show you this. Come over here. So all these holes, this is amazing. Looks like tiny caves. You can actually say it looks like a termite mound, but these are all being made by the shore crabs. Now those Carcinius midas, or shore crab, they're a bit of a crazy kind of crustacean, because what they've done, they've kind of come over to our country. They weren't normally from here, and they're ferocious predators. And the nightmare thing about this little tiny shore crab is it's kind of depleting and eating all the other different types of species of crab. So if you imagine just this one area, all these holes are from this shore crab. Should you have a look inside? Give me a thumbs up if you want me to see what's inside these holes and these burrows. Are we getting thumbs up? Right, let's go in. This is the best bit. This is where I can get all muddy. So like, if I come in here, now all of this constantly changes. So every day the tide comes in and goes out, all this changes. I'm gonna get right in. Oh, yeah, there's some. Yeah, there's one in the back. Here he comes. Yeah, I'm nearly there, Hans. It's quite a big one. Go. Right in the back. Here he comes. Oh, he's gone around the corner. He's gone too deep now. Let's go to the next. Let's come up here. So come in this way, Hans, a bit. There's some more burrows here. Let's get in. Now, amongst this mud, as we bring it apart, we might find some burrowing creatures like lugworm or ragworm. They love it down here. Let's come in this. They keep moving down all these burrows. Come on, let's go. Oh, there's lots here. There's a big structure. Oh, here we go. So, just in here, we've got some juveniles. If I pass this to Maddie, you ready, Mad? Now you can hold this one. This is just a baby one. He's gone all the way down that little hole up. Here he comes. There we go. Let's get in here. He's just disappeared down here. Oh, wow. So if you think, if I was a predator who was after these crabs, these are great hiding places. These are great area. Look at this one. Look at this little baby. Look. Look at that. So there's bigger ones in there, obviously, but these are all making these. Look at each one of these burrows is actually a home, but they change constantly. And the tides come in, swept away, destroyed. They rebuild them. And this is amazing. All of this. Let's put him down here. Look, there he goes. Let's see what else is in here. So we're going to go in deeper. Oh. Are you all right there, Hans? My director. Yep, there's something up the back here. Look, here we go. Yep, here he comes, another bigger one. So let's put and wash him off. And here's a slightly bigger one. Beautiful little male. Beautiful little male. I'll give him a good clean off. Just look at that. Classic shore crab. It's got these kind of serrated edges on the top here. Almost like a mean looking face. Let me wash its back off for you. It's got like a mean looking face on its back. Look, there you go. And of course it's got its 8 legs. Look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 tiny claws. One's bigger. One's like a pair of pliers for crushing. And there's a smaller one there, and that's like a pair of scissors for cutting. And then he's got these, not teeth, but 2 plates. So as he pushes the food, which is normally carrion or things that are dead, and they can catch little fish, they do. But they kind of clean away all the kind of fish poo and dead things and make these amazing burrows and actually make this environment. Should we keep going? You ready to keep going? Do you find some more stuff? More thumbs up? Let's go. Come on. We're going to walk up. Give yourself a clean up. So just think, it's low tide now, 3:30. 6 hours time, I'm underwater. All of this is covered in water. 6 hours, every 6 hours the tides. And then when we get spring tides, those are the huge tides. That's where the sun and moon aligns and really has that massive gravitational pull that pulls the oceans all the way in, up towards the kind of the moon. That gives us huge tides, big lows and big highs. So it's quite a good low tide today. Lots of stuff around. So once again, look at all these mud banks and all these different kind of plant life that live here. Ollie's still dragging his nets around. How are we doing, Ollie? Keep an eye out for any animals keep planning it. You might see some bird life. Yep, there's a heron. Look at the heron, Andy. Can you see the heron? Look at that. So he's going to be after the fish that are in here and the crabs. Keep getting more burrows. We're going to head up to this little rocky outcrop. There's got to be something up there. Come on. Keep going. I'm talking as if you're actually here. I keep saying follow me. You've got to pretend you're actually here. Come on.
We're all with you, Karl. Don't worry. We're all following in our minds.
Big stone areas up here. Let's go. Oh, big burrow. Hang on, over here, Emily. Just see the big burrow here. I just want to check in here first. in here, we might, yeah, here we go, here's some ragworm, look at this. So these are ragworm. So think of your common earthworm in your garden, a bit different. They've got these frilly bits, which is kind of like their gills, that's how they breathe. But this time, this ragworm, they've got pincers that come out of their mouth and nip onto their food. There they are. Oh, you might nip me them and it will have a look. So that's a ragworm, and sometimes you get king ragworm. They're kind of making these burrows as well, and they're eating all the dead vegetation. So all the plants that die and things like that, they eat all that as well. And obviously when they poo, all their poo comes out. I got one on my finger like as well. They poo, and all the poo is actually the mud. It's amazing. Well, let's pop those there. Let's dig down deeper. There we go. Let's dig down. There's a big hole here. Oh, there's a crab. Look at the camouflage. Look at that. Look. If you wouldn't know, that would just be a lump of mud. Look. Well, actually, that might be a female. Let's give that one a wash off. I think that's a female. Oh, no. So look, this shore crab is not green. It's kind of brown in colour, but it is a male. Oh, no. Yeah, that is a male. Yeah, there he is. So let's put him back and watch him run off. That's amazing. Look at that. Watch. Look at that. You'll find a little burrow. I want to go back in this big deep burrow here. See what else we can find. Oh, I'm going down deep. Here we go. Oh, lots of big ragworm. Look at this. They're everywhere. Look at this. Look at this ragworm. Look at the different layers of mud as well. The silt and a bit of clay as it gets deeper. Look at them all. Can you see that, Max? Emily, down there. Watch. I'll just move it around. Look at all the ragworms. Look at them. They're everywhere. Right, let's keep going. Follow me. Come on, let's go to these little rock areas over here. Some nice burrows up there. Lovely rock area. Just here. Oh, it's gone. It's a little tiny thing, Sometimes around these areas, this is what we call like a brackish water area. Lots of little twigs, branches that are broken down. You have been known to find sticklebacks there. If we find a stickleback, it's a tiny little fish, little spines on its back, but it's one of the only fish that build a nest. They build a nest. A fish building a nest. Let's have a little look around. I'm going to come in here. Now, I'm not going to stand in this area because obviously if they have built a nest, I don't want to destroy any of the areas here. So what we'll do, I'll walk around the circumference. Come this way, Emily. Come over here. Let's have a look down here. Ah! I've just seen something just down here. So I'm just going to gently, if I move a stone, that's like moving the roof of a tiny house. And if I just grab a net, can I spoil your net? Just scoot down here. Like this. Let's have a look. Okay, no. Oh, yeah, no. No, you must have missed that. Let's go into this deep area over here. How are we all doing? Doing good? Let's go over here. Let's have a little scoop around in here. Yeah, look at that. So this is why this area is so important. The food that this area supplies, the nursery to all the larger fish that then head down with the tide back into the main ocean. So lots of little shrimp again. Love the shrimp. Look at that. Let's pop all these back in. So a long time ago, when I worked in an aquarium as an aquarist, before I do the job I'm doing now, we would come here and we would try and catch very, very small juvenile shrimp to feed baby seahorses. Because we were one of the first aquariums in Cornwall to breed successfully a little tiny seahorse called Hippocampus abdominalis, or big-bellied seahorse. And they would feed on mysis, which is baby shrimp. We would come and collect live food for them here. let's go a bit further. Now, as I'm walking, I just want to explain something to you. I literally have probably the best job in the world, and any youngsters out there, any adults, or anyone that's watching who fancies doing this kind of job, you ready for this? I'm actually called a beach school teacher, and I've used my teaching background and knowledge of marine life and aquatic life to teach children, get ready, their maths, their science, literacy, art, in any kind of beach environment around the schools that I work. So we could be going down to the beach and we could be counting marine life and looking at maths and doing graphs. Or even you could meet maybe a pirate in a cave who tells you an amazing story about the sea creatures, and the children kind of write them letters. So yeah, I've actually got a job called the beach school teacher, and you have your classroom on a beach or around the coastline or in a cave or in a stream. And yes, we don't just do it when it's sunny. We do it in the winter. There's no such thing as bad weather, it's bad clothing. So we supply children all the decent clothing we can get out all the time. So think about that. Beach school teachers. You need them when you're outside like this. It's a bit chilly sometimes, but I don't mind. As long as I'm finding some amazing creatures and teaching youngsters, I'm absolutely fine. Right, let's carry on down. I'm going to go back into the main river now. All the way down back into the main river and see if we can find some larger species now. Let's go all the way down. How are you doing, crew? Maddie, you alright? Yeah. Ollie, you good? Director, are we doing alright? Yeah? Give us a thumbs up. Yeah, that's done. So look at all the burrows. As we're walking by down through this river, imagine you're here, womping through, squelching your feet in the mud. Doesn't smell that nice though, it's a bit smelly. Keep going. Right, we're heading back on the main area of the river now. So we're leaving this tiny tributary. Head over here now. There we go. So once again, like I said, when the tide goes, it goes all the way down, just a big pan right at the top there. I'm just going to take this one, all the way down to a beach called Crantock, all the way down there, huge sand dunes. We're heading up to the very top of this actually,
We've got a lot of wind now, Carl. We'll need to keep you quiet because we've got a lot of wind now.
Okay. Well, do you want to do any questions? Anybody got any questions for me?
Oh, we've got lots of questions coming through already, Carl. So, cool.
I'll come out of the wind. Get out of the wind a bit.
Yeah, we'll give you a sec to get out the wind, Carl, and then we've got lots of questions for you. Yeah.
That's a bit better. How's that sound?
Yeah, that's quite a bit better now.
Right, I'm just getting my clan, my crew over.
Awesome.
Some questions, Ollie and Maddie, is that all right?
Just while they're heading over, I just want you to let you know that we've been having a great chat in the group chat with everything you've been seeing as well. And there's lots of people, particularly from Shannon. It's quite strong again there, Carl.
Did you say Trinance?
Yes, I did. There's lots of people from Trinance wanting to say hello.
Yeah! If you are a little human at Trinance, you're amazing. And you're blowing my mind.
We've had a lot of people wanting to have shout outs. We've got Ethan, we've had a Phoebe, Laura Peters. I don't know if it's her children or if there is one. There's Ella, we love you, Mr. Auntie.
You're going to make me cry. I can't wait.
All sorts of people here.
I hope you're all doing well. And I wish I could speak to you all. And if you've got any questions, you can ask Mr. FT any questions. Not just today. If you're lucky and I see you, if I'm lucky enough to see you out and about, please stop and say hello because I'm missing chattering to my little humans. I love my little humans, and they're amazing. But my transhumans, I haven't seen you for a long time. It seems like it, and I cannot wait to see you soon.
Well, I'm jealous of all the little humans, whether they're your children or the ones at Tranance, because I don't get you teaching me beat school anymore. I'm really sad.
Ah,
Okay, so we're going to go over now, and I'm going to unmute people in order that they put their hands up. I don't know if it's possible for you to crouch down. Maybe if you crouch down, the wind might be sheltered by the banks.
is that better?
Maybe.
How's that?
Yeah, that's all right, Carl. We can hear you good. Thank you. All right, so the first question, the first person to put their hand up was Ella.
Ella!
Ella, I'm going to unmute you now, and you can ask your question to Mr. FT.
Good. Now,
Are you near the hope tree?
she said,
Oh, hello, Ella. Hello, Ella. No, we're not near the Hope Springs.
No.
How do you know about the Hope Spring?
the hope tree, she said. Is that what you were talking about?
Hope tree.
The hope.
The Hope Tree. I thought you said Hope Spring then. I do apologise, Ella. Well, we're not near the Hope Tree. That's a bit further down. Do you know whether, have you left any messages on the Hope Tree, Ella?
I left one message.
Oh, can you tell me, can you remember what your message was, Ella? Would you like to tell me and everyone else?
So
Shout loud.
I wish lockdown was still here, but that we still have and still go to school.
Oh, Ella, that's lovely. So you wish lockdown was still here, but you could still go to school as well?
Yeah.
Is that right? Well, Ella, we left a little message on the Hope Tree, and ours was just to make sure that everyone stays safe and well, but hopefully everyone can get back out and just enjoying everywhere we live. Are you still doing, I bet you are, but you're going for lots of walks and looking for lots of creatures and investigating and exploring. Ella, are you still doing
And
that?
we even went here. We even went to Fourth Beach the other day, and the other time we walked down the Gannel.
Did you walk down the Gannel?
We did your walk.
Oh, I love it, Joe. It's one of my favourite places, Ella. I love walking down the Gannel and then back up on the tide. So coming in, you come back
We
up.
found the swing.
You found a swing. Did you find the swing that's got some people's names on it?
No.
Well, if you ever go for a walk down the Gannel again, there's an amazing swing that's been built by Mr. Harris, one of my little friends, and his big brother, and they put their names on it. So you have to keep an eye out for that one, Ella. Is that okay?
So yes.
Yes.
Ella, have you got any more questions for me?
No.
Well, can I ask you a question, Ella?
Yes.
Do you love learning about creatures?
Yes.
Do you think when you're older you might like to become a beach school teacher?
Yes.
Yes! We've got one! Another beach school teacher. You're going to have to come and work with me, Ella. Is that all right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, Ella. See you soon. Definitely.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Ella. Thank you so much. Okay, so let me just work out how to remute. Karl, would you mind taking like 30 seconds, just because we've got some people watching that aren't from Cornwall? Would you mind letting them know what the Hope Tree is?
Absolutely. So, hello, can you all hear me? Give me a thumbs up. Can you still hear me?
Yep.
You're fine.
Okay, the Hope Tree is amazing. So there's this beautiful walk that you can do on a low tide all the way down the Gannel, and probably about a third of the way from the start of the Gannel, where we say from the Boater Lake, as you walk down towards Crantop, there's this beautiful tree that's got a big bough that overcomes, it kind of grows over the pathway. And what people have done, very carefully, it's amazing, they've tied little tiny messages of hope. So when all the kind of lockdown happened, and we were all a bit worried, but it's, you know, we're all coming out of it, everyone was rightly quite worried. People came down to the Hope Tree and they wrote a beautiful message about hope or wishes, and they tied it on there. And do you know what? Do you ever feel a bit sad, or you just feel a bit to be uplifted. You could go for a walk and you just read some of those messages, and it just brightens your day, makes you smile from ear to ear. Some of them nearly made me cry. It's just amazing. But it's, like I said, it's the hope tree, and about a third of the way down the Gannel from the start, from the Boaton Lake. Beautiful tree growing over, lots of little messages. People have left tiny pebbles that they've decorated. They've made trinkets, but all from things that are recyclable as well. So it's not going to harm the environment. So if you get a chance, go and see the hope tree at the Gannel, leave a message, and then read some of the messages as well. Right?
Thank you so much for explaining that, Carl. And I guess for anyone that doesn't live in Newquay, or for anyone that lives in other parts of the country, we've even had people watching from North America. So if you live somewhere else, why not think of setting up your own hope tree where you live, making sure the materials that you're using are recyclable and that they're not going to harm the planet, and it might be something really nice to set up in your local community. Okay, moving on to the next question, Carl. We've got Ethan who wants to ask you a question. So off you go, Ethan.
Hi, Ethan.
There you are, you're unmuted now.
What's the biggest fish you can get around that beach?
What's the biggest fish?
First of all, how are you doing, Ethan? Are you okay?
Yeah.
So you're out, you want to know the biggest fish we could get around these beaches, is that right?
Yep.
So, Ethan, if you're really, really lucky and it's a nice, warm, sunny day and you're going for a lovely walk, there is an amazing fish that you can find swimming around our coastline that is huge. It's a fish called the basking shark. Because a shark is a type of fish, but this shark, no teeth. This shark is so big, it's a carp. And it swims around with this huge mouth wide open. And what it's after is tiny, tiny marine life in the ocean called zooplankton. And it goes into its mouth, filters it all out. They're about as big as a car, they're beautiful, and they're called basking sharks. Quite deep though, they go out quite deep, so you need to really spot them. Other fish, not as big as the basking shark, that I've seen just in this estuary, just in this river, are mullet or bass. Now mullet can get as big as my arm, but the bass, whoo, they can get as big as my whole arm. So mullet about as big as from there to my forearm, but bass as big as my arm. But the biggest fish around our coastline that we know, that we've seen, is the mighty, mighty and beautiful basking shark. If you've never seen one, ask your parents if you can have a look online at pictures. Have you ever seen a basking shark, Ethan?
I've read a book about them.
Do you like sharks, Ethan?
Yeah.
Well, do you know what? Before I did this, Ethan, I studied sharks. And if you study sharks, you're a very special scientist called an elasmobranchiologist. Elasmobranchiologist. And that means you study just sharks. And do you know what other fish are related to sharks?
I'm unmuted.
Do you know what other fish are related to sharks, Ethan? Rays. So stingrays and thornback rays and cuckoo rays. Because they've all got a very special skeleton, which is actually not made of bone, it's made of cartilage, which is the bendy bone you find in your nose or in your ear. Sharks are cool, Ethan. Any other questions, Ethan?
My mum would like to know where you are doing this.
Right, so I'm in a place called Newquay in Cornwall. Newquay is on the north coast. It was really famous for surfing. That's why I moved there when I was very young, surfing. So it's in Newquay, and in Newquay there's a tiny estuary, a little river that runs into a beach called Crantop, and it's called the Gannel. So Newquay, Cornwall, River Gannel that heads towards Crantop. How's that sound, Ethan?
Thanks.
Have you got any more questions, sir?
No, but I might ask some later.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Would you like to become a beach school teacher or a marine biologist?
Pardon?
Would you like to become a marine biologist or a beach school teacher?
Oh, Ethan, in the first week, Carl, Ethan told us he wants to be a marine biologist. It's out there now, Ethan. We know.
Sorry.
Don't apologise.
Sorry, Mr. FD.
I'll speak to you soon.
Okay, so next up we have a question. It says Sarah Millett. I don't know if that's the child or the parent, but I'm using you now to ask the question.
How is he? How you doing, Sarah?
Hello, Herbie. Can I ask a question?
Go for it.
Okay.
Say it again.
Is there any whales in you?
Is there any way?
Well, first of all, can I just say, young man, are you okay?
Are you okay? Say yeah. He can't hear you. Can't see you. Yes.
Yes.
And do you still love dragons?
Yes.
Good. Always love dragons. Well, actually, we have had some whales come around our coastline. We've had something called a pilot whale that came around, a little pod, because that's what you call a group of whales. They were spotted a while ago. And apart from whales, we do get something called, you might have heard of these, dolphins and porpoises. How cool is that?
Yeah.
Yes.
What else are you going to ask, Mr. FT? What's the little she's called?
What are the called?
In the gannel.
What are
What are the little fish called in the gannel?
Oh, brilliant. Now, if you're ever walking down the Gannel and you're walking on the side, you see all these tiny little fish suddenly just swim off. Now, they're a type of little kind of goby called bullheads. They're kind of diamond-shaped head, and they kind of taper off into a really skinny tail. So it's a type of goby. You know, like the ones, like the blennies and the gobies you find in rock pools. Well, I know you love rock pooling, where it's kind of related to those. And also, you might find some tiny baby brown trout, and the really shiny silver ones might be mullet or even baby bass.
Cool, isn't it?
Thank
All right?
you. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
No,
Thank you.
I've just been informed by my director that I have literally only 10% battery left on my phone.
Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly ask you some of the questions we've got in the chat then, so that people in the chat, and then I guess you've probably got about 6 minutes then if you've got 10%. So let's ask all the questions we've got here. Okay, so we've got, can Herbie ask Mr. FT, what are the little fishes called? Oh no, we've had that. Can we have,
Herbie's Dragon Man.
hi Mr. FT, how big do the shrimp get? Finn from Crimson class at Trenance, who has been joining all of our sessions, might I add.
Can I just say, some of the shrimps can grow bigger than an elephant. No, they can't really.
I was like, hang on a minute.
Mr. FT just being silly. So shrimps can probably get to the same size. The ones that live around our coastline. You do get relatives of shrimps who get as big as my hand. And I shouldn't say this, but
Oh, Karl, we've got quite a lot of wind again. Can we have a...
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
So there you go. So probably about the ones on our coast are about as big as my finger. A different species of prawn and shrimp can get as big as my hand. The big mighty king prawns. And hello, Crimson, everyone in Crimson as well, and every other class.
Thank you for your question there. We've got another question in the chat. Why are baby shrimps nicest? So I think you might want to... Yeah.
I know. I think, so we're called, like humans, we call ourselves, we call them babies. And lions, we don't say small lions, we say cubs. And cats, we call kittens. So shrimps, they've given their name mysis. It's spelled M-Y-S-I-S. Now, I'm not sure, but there's probably a Latin reason why they're called mysis, which might mean maybe small see-through crustacean. I'm not sure, but I'll tell you something. I'm going to find that out for you. I'm going to post it online to make sure we find out why they're called mysis, because it is quite strange. It sounds like I'm saying lots of mice. Mysis. It's not.
So I can tell you that the way that we classify animals, so that we give them names, Karl is very right, we give them Latin names. And actually the family, or the genus, you don't need to know these terms, but the group that these animals are in are called mysids. So that's, or twice a day. So that's where that comes from. But I don't know what it means in Latin. So if Karl finds out for us what it means, and then we can probably work out why the first person that ever discovered him gave him that Latin name. So great question then. Well done. We've had a story come through. Oh, that was from Phoebe, by the way. So another comment here saying their dad got spiked by a bass once. So that was a very terrible story there. So I'm very sorry about that, but hopefully he's recovered now. We've had Sorrel and Zabby would like to know if you have ever seen Morgor, the sea monster.
Oh, Morgor, the mighty sea monster in the Gannel. I think I've heard it. I've not seen it, but I'm going to keep looking because there are so many amazing, mythical, fantastical creatures around here. I've got a great uncle called Tall Tom Copper, who's a pirate, and he swears that he sees mermaids of all different species. He tells stories of mermaids that are red. They've got red scales called Mermaidius, Lanzaroteus, Vulcanius, and they're the red mermaid from Lanzarote who have scales made of lava, apparently. He even says he's seen ice mermaids, Mermaidius, Iceus, Cornish, Antarcticus, which is the ice mermaid. So if he sees mermaids, I think there might be an amazing mythical creature called Morgor the Gannel. I'm not sure. What do you think? It'd be a cool story. Someone should write that story for me, I reckon.
100%. I'm sure we'll have lots of creative volunteers up for writing that. So I'm going to do one more question to each battery from the chat, and then one question I'm going to unmute Amelia because she's been waiting quite a long time. Sorry, Amelia. So, here's leading on to your question. Isaac would like to know the scientific name for shrimp. So I guess we could post this, we could post a little thing in the Facebook group afterwards so everyone can see the answers all about the scientific names for the different shrimp. Do you think that would be a good idea?
I think that would be an amazing idea.
Awesome. So it's not that we're going to not answer your question, Isaac. We're just going to make sure we do it properly. And we've got mycids, all the different decapods, everything in there. It will be. So we'll give you all these cool different names and why they happen. And then finally, I know there's other people with their hands up, but Karl is running out of battery. So what I'm going to do is unmute you, Amelia, because you've been waiting the longest. And everyone else, if you post your questions in the Facebook group, we will get back to you, I promise. Okay, Amelia, on you go.
I've got 2 questions.
Make sure they're quick.
How deep do the animals under the
Well, Amelia, there are some parts of the ocean that are so deep, we're still not able to send ourselves, because of our body, that can get caught. We go down too deep. The pressure of all the water, we couldn't get down there. We even try and build these amazing submarines with cameras and send them down. But there are some parts of the ocean that are so deep, get ready for this, it's going to blow your mind. You could sink Mount Everest all the way down and still leave space. Parts of the ocean are so deep, we don't even know it lives down there. So there's a place called the Mariner's Trench. Now we know that that's over miles and miles deep. And we've been down there, and recently we discovered some of the most fantastic and most beautiful and odd-looking creatures you've ever seen. So if you get a chance, and you can ask your coach, your parents, whoever looks after you, adults, if you can have a look at deep-sea creatures of the Mariner's Trench, and then try and find deeper areas of the oceans, but try and find depth, or even try and find fresh corals.
Karl, we've got a lot of wind. Can you come a little bit closer?
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
So if you do look up deep sea fish, I want you to look up a fish called the blobfish.
Oh, they're horrid.
And what's your other question?
It's not a question, it's facts.
Oh, I love
love
this.
that.
Go for it.
So, basking sharks are the first biggest of the sharks. They're the largest sharks in the world, and the whales, like the spotty one with blue one, that's the biggest whale in the world. The first whale, that's the biggest.
That's right.
Been discovered about whale sharks and in the deep.
Wow, and did you know that some sharks lay eggs?
So
Amazing, isn't it?
some sharks, like the lemon sharks, in trees, like no, for the
In
baby
the mangroves.
lemon sharks when it isn't eggs, but it comes out like us, and they're mammals. Lemon sharks are mammals.
Oh, we've got Carl muted. If we can unmute Carl. I don't know. I think he's still here, but he's muted. So okay. So yeah, just to answer your question about the sharks there. So this is going to blow your mind. I don't know why someone gave them these names. A whale shark is in fact not a whale. It is a shark. I know why someone did that. What crazy scientist did that? I don't know. But just to blow your mind, a whale shark is a shark. And I think the reason they've called it that is because the whale shark is the biggest species of shark known on the planet. So the biggest animals they knew that lived in the sea were whales. So maybe they were like, okay, big shark, we'll call it a whale shark. So the biggest shark in the world is actually the whale shark.
Yeah.
But the basking shark is the biggest shark that we've got in the UK waters. And the weird thing about it is it has absolutely no teeth. So it eats, you know, we were talking before in other lessons about plankton, these tiny little microscopic animals that live in the water. The biggest shark in the UK eats the tiniest animals that lives in the sea, which is why they've got this huge mouth with no teeth, and they just kind of suck it all up like a big ocean hoover.
Yeah, and then they burst out the waters. I can show you a picture of a basking shark.
So we have lost Karl, but luckily we did get through our final questions, which is great. So we're going to finish on Amelia showing us a great picture of a basking shark. But what I want to say to you all, unfortunately, what I can't do is get you to say thank you to Karl live. But what I am going to do is unmute you all in a second. And because this session is recorded, if any of your friends want to watch it, I'm going to archive this session so they can watch it back. So feel free to share it. And then what I'm going to do, Karl will be able to watch it and see you all waving and shouting thank you at him. So if you're ready, I'm going to unmute you all in 3, 2, 1.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Excellent.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Mr. FG. See you soon, hopefully.
Oh, he's going to absolutely love seeing all your little faces and hearing you all say thank you. So just to wrap up, like I said, all these sessions are archived. We've covered literally so many different random things in the oceans. I'm a deep sea biologist, so what Karl was talking about are the deepest areas in the sea. I've done a couple of sessions about those. I've had friends talk about seagrass meadows. We've had someone talk about seals. We've had someone talk about whales and dolphins. We've had someone talk about tiny bacteria that live in the sea. We've also had someone come in and talk about what it's like to live on a boat to do scientific research for months on end. So if you want to watch any of those, oh, and we've had a live link like Karl did from, guess what, the Bahamas. And he lives in the Bahamas and directs a research institute out there. So we got to see the beach labs out there. And then Karl's session has been awesome today, all about the Gannel, which is in a marine conservation zone in Newquay, which has been protected in the past few years because it's so important and special. And Karl showed you today just how diverse the marine life is there. So thank you so much everyone for joining today. I am going to continue doing this even though there's some of the measures being lifted for lockdown, because I know not everyone is going back to school, and that's absolutely fine. It just gives me an opportunity to keep teaching you about the oceans and getting fabulous other people to come in and talk to you about all the different parts of the oceans as well. So if you want to watch the other videos and want to go back and see the archive and join us next week, The Facebook group that you have now kind of added into and seen with Karl's posts and things like that, you can go in the Facebook group and you can see, I post the link up each week for what we're going to be talking about on the Friday. It's usually Friday at 1:30, but we did 3:30 today for the low tide. And you can see all the archive. It's archived on YouTube, but I do share all the places where you can find those archives in the Facebook chat. I'm not sure who's going to be talking to us next week. I'm just firming that up, but you will know by Wednesday in the group who's joining us. But it's every Friday, 1:30. Obviously, Karl takes a lot of beating, but we've got some fabulous ocean scientists coming to speak to you about all different things that live in the sea. So thank you for joining. Sorry we couldn't get to all your questions today, but you can post them in the Facebook group, and Mr. FT and I will make sure that we answer them for you. Okay, so thanks everyone. Big wave, big thank you to you all. And hopefully we'll see a load of you next week, 1:30 every Friday. Thanks guys, bye.